to the Open Scoring MMA podcast. No secrets, no bias, just the real fight game. Let's get ready.
Welcome to Open Scoring MMA. This is episode 14 for July through 2026. Your daily look at what's happening now and next across the world of MMA and UFC. All right, let's dive right into the biggest news shaking up the MMA world today. UFC 329, the highly anticipated card featuring Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway, has hit a snag with some significant undercard changes. We're hearing from Yahoo Sports MMA that injury has forced Ode Osborne and Ethan Ewing out of their scheduled bouts. While a replacement has already been set for Durden, word is Basharat is still waiting for a new opponent for his July 11th fight. This is always tough to see, especially so close to fight night. Injuries are just part of the game, but it definitely throws a wrench into the momentum for those fighters and for the fans looking forward to those specific matchups. You never want to see fighters pull out, but it's a testament to the depth of the UFC roster that they can usually find replacements quickly, even if it means a different stylistic matchup for the remaining fighter. Hopefully, Basharat gets a solid opponent soon so he can stay on the card and we can still get a full night of action at UFC 329. It's a huge card, and every fight counts. Speaking of big names, let's talk about Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, who's always making headlines. Bloody Elbow reports that Paddy has ruthlessly torn into an MMA rival ahead of his scheduled return to the octagon against Benoit Saint Denis. Not only that, but he's also been talking about potential welterweight debuts. He also believes Ilia Topuria is just too small a lightweight, which is a pretty bold statement coming from a guy who himself has had to cut a lot of weight to make lightweight. It shows Paddy's confidence, or maybe just his willingness to stir the pot, which he's always good at. The fans on Reddit are having a field day with all of Paddy's recent comments, especially the welterweight callouts and his take on Topuria. They love to speculate on who he might fight next and what division he'll settle into. Now let's switch gears to some other interesting news. Joe Lauzon, a UFC veteran, has revealed the UFC's reaction to him competing at Fenway Park for BKFC. Sherdog reports that Lauzon doesn't know the details of his Ultimate Fighting Championship contract despite signing with BKFC. This is a fascinating situation. It highlights the complexities of fighter contracts and how promotions navigate fighters competing in other organizations. For a UFC veteran like Lauzon to step into the bare-knuckle world, it shows the appeal and growth of BKFC. It also raises questions about how much control the UFC maintains over its contracted fighters, even those who might be winding down their careers or exploring other combat sports avenues. It's a unique crossover that we're seeing more and more of, and it'll be interesting to see if more fighters follow suit. Speaking of other promotions, PFL star Impa Kasanganay claims the PFL has the strongest crop of middleweights in MMA. That's a bold statement from Kasanganay. Per Sherdog, the PFL has definitely been building a strong roster, and their tournament format brings a different kind of intensity. To claim the best middleweight division is a big claim, especially with the talent in the UFC and other organizations. It's good to see fighters hyping up their own promotions, and it certainly adds to the competitive spirit across the sport. It forces everyone to step up their game. In other news, Daniel Cormier has reportedly weighed in on Ian Gary's mindset ahead of what some are calling a potential title fight against Islam Makhachev, suggesting that Gary's prediction could backfire. This is a classic DC take, always looking at the mental game. Gary has been very confident, and sometimes that confidence can be a double-edged sword. It can fuel you, but it can also create immense pressure. Makhachev is a formidable champion, and underestimating him, or even just being overly vocal, can sometimes provide extra motivation for the opponent. It's going to be a fascinating matchup, and the mind games leading up to it are just as compelling as the fight itself. We've also got some news from the world of boxing and MMA crossovers. Terrence Bud Crawford has shut down Conor McGregor's claims about a $200 million offer. McGregor had been making some big claims, as he often does, but Crawford is calling him out on it. This just goes to show that while McGregor is a massive draw, not every claim he makes about potential mega fights or offers holds water. It's part of the show, but it's also good to get some clarity from the other side. Moving on to fighter movements, Tracy Cortez believes her move to Mexico City has made her a better athlete. According to Sherdog, she left the fight-ready team ahead of UFC 329. Fighters often make big changes in their training camps and locations in search of that extra edge, and it's a testament to their dedication. Sometimes a change of scenery, a new environment, or a different set of training partners can unlock new levels in an athlete. It'll be interesting to see how this move impacts her performance at UFC 329. In some sad news for fans of a legend, Khabib Nurmagomedov's teammate believes the former Ultimate Fighting Championship lightweight champion will never compete in any combat sport again. This comes from Sherdog. While many fans have held out hope for a return even in grappling, it seems increasingly unlikely. Khabib has always been a man of his word, and he retired at the top. His commitment to his family and his faith has been unwavering. While it's tough for fans to accept, it's also admirable to see a fighter stick to their principles and walk away on his own terms. He's left an incredible legacy, and sometimes that's enough. Let's talk about Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship for a moment. There aren't any UFC fights this 4th of July weekend, but BKFC will still be around to deliver some fisticuffs. Bloody Elbow and MMA Mania both reported on a wild weigh-in incident. BKFC boss Dave Feldman has earned a few new fans for his actions during a pre-fight weigh-in, where he was praised for his angry reaction to a fighter pushing a rival off stage. He even shoved a fighter after a weigh-in stage scuffle. Feldman's hands-on approach and willingness to get involved to maintain order definitely makes for some viral moments and shows he's not afraid to get in there and keep things professional, or at least as professional as they can be in bare-knuckle fighting. It adds to the raw, gritty appeal of BKFC, and it's clear he's passionate about his promotion. And just a quick look back at June, One News gave us an in case you missed it recap of everything that happened in one championship. From title fights to contract wins to huge announcements, One had a busy month. They're consistently putting on great shows and expanding their global reach. And it's always good to see other major promotions thriving and giving fans more high-level MMA to enjoy. That's all for today's Open Scoring MMA. We'll be back tomorrow with more breaking news and analysis. Catch you then. Before you go, two quick things. Check out our free fight tracker at tracker.openscoringmma.com with every upcoming UFC and PFL card, live odds, and where to watch all in one place. And follow us on YouTube. Just search Open Scoring MMA for breaking news alerts, fight breakdowns, and videos you won't get here on the feed. That's it for today's Open Scoring MMA. Keep your hands up, and we'll see you next time.